Hi everyone, my name is Professor Michael Scott. Thank you so much for joining in for our new and exciting series of YouTube live videos and YouTube live readings of excerpts from ancient Greek drama. And these are not just any excerpts from ancient Greek drama, these are most importantly excerpts from ancient Greek drama chosen by you, and particularly by the Professor Michael Scott Facebook page community. So a couple of weeks ago we started off this debate which was ignited for us by one of our members, Jeremy Davies, who had come forward saying he was going to be producing some Greek plays in the near future with COVID-19. That looks like now 2021, and he was thinking about which plays to produce, and we ran a competition to find our community's favourite Greek plays, which came out as Aristophanes' Frogs and Euripides' Bacchae, and Jeremy has very kindly taken on the task of putting on those two plays together as a double bill in due course in 2021. Following on from that, we then asked people to contribute their favourite speeches, their favourite excerpts from ancient Greek drama and more widely from literature, and we now have a final selection, which I get the pleasure of reading to you live today. So if you want to become part of this community, do go to facebook.com/Prof Michael Scott, and once you follow the page, you can also become part of our new Professor Michael Scott Classics community group, where you can discuss a whole series of different topics and get involved in future discussions and choices that may contribute to these live readings on YouTube. So without further ado, here we have our first choice for today. Now it's Sophocles' Antigone. Now, the Antigone was written by Sophocles and produced somewhere around 441 BC. And as with all of the ancient Greek tragedies that we have surviving, they were produced for Athens, for principally an Athenian audience, but also during the great festival of theatre, the city Dionysia, as it was known in Athens, happening in around March time each year. There would also be lots of foreigners coming to Athens who may be part of the theatrical audience as well. We have to imagine a large conglomeration of people packed into the theatre of Athens, watching a series of tragedies, 3 tragedies, plus a sort of satyr play, a comedy relief play at the end of the day across a single day. This was a massive civic joint experience. Everything else going on in the city was cancelled entirely for the days when the theatre was on. And of course, it was also all a part of a religious festival, the religious worship of the great god Dionysus, god of wine and of the theatre. What's the subject of the play? Well, it happens in Thebes. So the subject of the play is about a different city from Athens. Athens doesn't have problems. It's other cities that have problems, Thebes being one of the main ones. And it revolves around a woman called Antigone, who has decided to bury her dead brother Polynices. This does not sound like a very controversial thing to do, but Polynices had been caught on the wrong side of a civil war, and it had been decreed by Thebes' ruler, Creon, that he should not be buried as a punishment. But Antigone, moving against that, believed that everyone, and particularly her brother, deserved the rites of burial associated within Greek religion, with the soul being able to pass on naturally to the underworld, etc. And so she contravenes Creon's rule. Creon discovers this and sentences Antigone to death as a result. Now, the scene we're about to read is when Creon's son, Haemon, who is also in love with Antigone, comes to his father and tries to persuade him to change his mind. And it's one of those great speeches from ancient Greek drama where you know that what Haemon is saying is right, but Creon will just not be able to see it. Father, the gods implant reason in men, the highest of all things that we call our own. And for my part, to state how you are wrong to say those things is beyond my power and my desire, although another man, too, might have a useful thought. But in any case, it is my natural duty to watch on your behalf all that men say or do or find to blame. For the dread of your glance forbids the ordinary citizen to speak such words as would offend your ear. But I can hear these murmurs in the dark, how the city moans for this girl, saying no woman ever merited death less. None ever died so shamefully for deeds so glorious as hers, whom, when her own brother had fallen in bloody battle, would not leave him unburied to be devoured by savage dogs or by any bird. Does she not deserve to receive golden honour? Such is the rumour, shrouded in darkness that silently spreads. For me, Father, no treasure is more precious than your prosperity. What indeed is a nobler ornament for children than the fair fame of a thriving father, or for a father than that of his children? Do not then bear one mood only in yourself. Do not think that your word and no other must be right. For if any man thinks that he alone is wise, that in speech or in mind he has no peer, such a soul, when laid open, is always found empty. No. Even when a man is wise, it brings him no shame to learn many things and not be too rigid. You see how the trees that stand beside the torrential streams created by a winter storm yield to it and save their branches, while the stiff and the rigid perish, root and all. And in the same way, the pilot who keeps the sheet of his sail taut and never slackens it, upsets his boat and voyages thereafter with his decking under water. Father, give way and allow a change from your rage. For if, even from me, a younger man, a worthy thought may be supplied, by far the best thing, I believe, would be for men to be all wise by nature. But otherwise, since it most often does not turn out that way, it is good to learn in addition from those who advise you well. The sadness, as I said, is that Creon will not listen to his own son, will not heed the fact that he needs to bend with the wind. And it's only at the very end of the play, when Antigone has killed herself, Haemon has killed himself as well in the shame and sadness at the loss of his love, and even more so, Haemon's mother, Creon's wife, will also kill herself, having cursed Creon for not being willing to bend with the wind. And the play ends with Creon realizing his errors all too late and realizing that he should have been that wiser man that Haemon spoke of. An absolutely fantastic piece of ancient drama. Thank you all for tuning in for these short lunchtime live readings. Tomorrow, on Tuesday the 9th of June, again at 1 p.m. UK time, we will be moving to Euripides, one of the other great ancient playwrights, and we'll be looking at his play Electra, and it's a much more bloody and gruesome reading tomorrow, where Electra will be standing over the body of Aegisthus, the lover of her mother Clytemnestra, both of whom were involved in the murder of her father, Electra's father, Agamemnon. So tune in tomorrow, 1 o'clock UK time, if you want a bit of bloody, bloodthirsty enjoyment standing over the body of a corpse. I promise there won't be any live or dead or corpses involved in the live reading tomorrow. And in the meantime, do please get in touch and get involved via the Facebook page, facebook.com/Prof Michael Scott, and with the Classics Community Group, or indeed through my website, michaelscottweb.com, or indeed you can follow and catch up with what I'm doing on Twitter at ProfMCScott and on Instagram at ProfMCScott as well. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay safe, stay well.